Question 4. At the end of 2017, the value of Tamara's house was £220,000. The value of Rahim's house was £160,000. At the end of 2019, the value of Tamara's house had decreased by 20%. The value of Rahim's house had increased by 30%. At the end of 2019, whose house had the greater value? You must show how you get your answer. And this question is worth 4 marks. So how do we do this question? Let's take it in steps. So I've got information about Tamara's house, and then it decreases by a percentage. So step 1 is to find out Tamara's house. And it had decreased in percentage. Then step 2 is to find out Rahim's house. And Rahim's house had increased by 30%. And then at the end of 2019, whose house had the greater value? Step 3 is we find the greater values. Right, so step 1, let's look at Tamara's house. So Tamara's house is 220,000. So I'm going to use the block method, bar method. So this is 220,000. And that is equal to 100%. And then what happens is Tamara's house had decreased by 20%. So if this is 20%, what is this going to be? I put my percentages in the wrong place. 20%. All of this is 100%. This is 220,000. So I want to find out if this is 20%, this must be 100 minus 20, which is 80. So this is 80%. So I can find out 80%, or I can find out 20% and then take it away from 100%. So let's write this out. 100% equals 220,000. I'm going to divide by 10. That gives me 10%. I can just cross out a 0 here, so it's 22,000. And if I want to go to 20%, I times by 2. 20% equals 44,000. So my final part for this is I do 100% take away 20% gives me 80%. So I do my 220,000 take away 44,000. I will put this in place value format. So I've got my thousands are in the zeros. This becomes 10. 10 take away 4 is 6. This is 1, so I borrow 1 again. So 11 take away 4 is 7, so it's 176,000. So that is the first part. Now I need to work out, so this is Tamara. And in a similar way, I now need to do Rahim. So Rahim's house has increased by 30%, and Rahim's house is 160,000. Well, I've got Rahim, and I'm going to use my bar method again. My bar model, so this is 100%. And on this occasion, this is 160,000. And it's increasing. So I've got this, and I'm adding 30%. So this is 30%. This is 160,000. So I need to work out what the equivalent of 30% is. So 100% equals 160,000. Divide by 10 gives me 10%. Divide by 10. 160,000 divided by 10. I cancel a 0, so that's 16,000. I want to get to 30%, so I'm going to be timesing by 3, multiplying by 3. So 16 times by 3. I'll do that working out on the side here. 16 times by 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 3 is 1, and the 1 is 4. So that's 48,000. And now I just need to add these two together. 160,000 plus 48,000. All of these are 0. 0 plus 8 is 0. 6 plus 4 is 10, so carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So my answer is 208,000. So I need to compare at the end of 2019 whose house had the greater value. And so I'm looking at 176,000, and I'm looking at 208,000. So the greater value is 208,000. So I'm going to write Rahim's house has a greater value.